India, I think, has been complicit in this particular case. Otherwise, also we have seen sometimes India gets complicit when there is a party which is friendly towards India. So it is very important for, I think, India to be to engage with all the parties, be it opposition and all, even if they can't do it at government level, maybe a backdoor channel or like 1.5 track like that. So it is very important to be engaged with all the parties, be it opposition or ruling party. Having said that, I would also like to, so as mentioned about the disinformation campaign. In my understanding, it's not only disinformation and misinformation, it's also lack of information. Because many Maldivians, they are not aware what India is doing. And here I'm not only talking about the developmental projects or the secure or what's happening actually about this Defence and Security Cooperation Agreement. Now, again, as I mentioned, that the small island countries, they are very, very sensitive about their sovereignty, strategic autonomy. Now, if we see, though India is a largest development partner, it has been a largest development partner in last 5 years. But in several occasions, Maldives actually maintained its strategic autonomy. We can take the example of the way Maldives has voted at the United Nations on this resolution on Russia's action on Ukraine. Maldives did not just follow what India is doing. Maldives voted in favor of the resolution. But in 2017, on the other hand, if we see, there was an example when then President Yamin, despite having no issues with Qatar, just followed what Saudi Arabia's action on Qatar, and they just severed the ties. There was no diplomatic relation. It was only, I think, last year, 2022, when the relations improved between Qatar and Saudi Arabia, Maldivian government has again started the diplomatic relation. So that is the example of strategic autonomy, where Maldives was influenced by another country as far as its foreign and strategic policy was concerned. But in this case, Maldives did maintain a strategic autonomy. I think this kind of examples should be highlighted, be it social media and wherever, even local media. So that is why I said that it's lack of information probably. I think that both government of Maldives, they also, I think, became complicit. I mean, Soli administration also became complicit. They were probably thinking we are doing this last 5 years was relatively less politically chaotic. So, and they are doing some developmental projects. So they, I think, took this India Out campaign for granted. Actually, many people did not initially support this movement. But towards the end, I don't think it is that Maldivian people, they don't like India or something like that. It is again that sensitivity that Maldives strategic autonomy is getting affected. I think that sense made
I totally understand that. And India should not be even perceived, let alone act as a big brother. But the other side of the coin, why is there no pushback against a very opaque Chinese presence in the Maldives? They have a framework defense agreement with the US, I think, which this government signed. Why is there never a US out or a China out kind of campaign?
That was because this India Out movement was, in my understanding, I have also written before on this. In my understanding, it was not against India. It actually initiated, it was a domestic political movement, because I think that time PPM, PNC when started, they did not have much issue against that, agenda to, where they can mobilize people's support. Because developmental project that was going on, COVID, comparatively, they managed it well. So I think this one issue where they could mobilize people's support, particularly youth, and based on disinformation, because they were not giving the information. There were lack of information. Again, on US and China, I think many people don't know about it. We read here, and some of the experts probably, they know about this US-Maldives agreements. And on China's thing, again, probably they are not aware of how Chinese provide loans and what kind of loans, their interest, how much, that's...
So again, a need for information to flow.
Yeah. I think that is a major problem. And another thing I have noticed during my interaction with some of the Maldivian experts, I think somewhere they are also a bit apprehensive about writing, for example, about this Mauritius issue between Maldives and Mauritius. So even some experts were telling me they initially actually said this Chagos Island was never part of Maldives and all. But I think they had to face lots of criticism and trolling from like other people and all. So that I think that courage or that thing is not there among some of the Maldivians who have been writing also. And sometimes many of the experts, they are part of the governments. It's a small section. So I think that is also a problem, that not many writings or op-ed pieces are coming out. On the other hand, another thing I want to mention here, that we often see the Chinese embassy in Maldives. Often they are using very proactive, and they are using the media, social media or the local media. Chinese ambassador will write op-ed pieces, articles about China-Maldives relations, about their policies. So these are the things probably we can, I'm not saying that we should imitate what Chinese are doing, but probably we can learn things, particularly on this particular issue, how we can highlight our strengths and our actual policies. As Sir mentioned, that the developmental projects, they are actually based on demand-driven projects. We don't impose anything. Again, the interest rates, these are not much. And our agreements, they are like transparent. So all these things should be highlighted in my understanding, which we fail to do.